We're explaining how to run a macro in Excel. 1. First, you need a macro. If you don't have one already, you'll need to record one using the macro recorder. Go to the Developer tab. If you don't see it, you might need to enable it in Excel Options. File Options Customize ribbon, check the Developer box. In the Developer tab, click Record Macro. Give your macro a name, optionally a shortcut key and a description. Then perform the actions you want the macro to automate. Once finished, click Stop Recording. 2. Now let's run your newly recorded macro. There are several ways to do this. The easiest is using the Macros dialog box. Go back to the Developer tab and click Macros. A dialog box will appear listing all your available macros. Select the macro you want to run and click Run. 3. Alternatively, you can assign a shortcut to your macro. During macro recording, you might have already assigned a shortcut key. If you did, simply press that key combination, e.g. Ctrl+Shift+M, to run the macro. If not, you can go back to the Macros dialog box, select your macro, and click Options. Here you can assign a shortcut key. Remember the assigned key combination. It'll run the macro anytime you press it. 4. Another method involves adding a button to your worksheet that triggers the macro. On the Developer tab, click Insert and choose a button shape. Draw the button on your worksheet. An Assign Macro dialog box will appear. Select your macro and click OK. Now clicking this button will run your macro. 5. Finally, you can use VBA code directly to run a macro. This is more advanced. Open the Visual Basic Editor, VBE, by pressing Alt plus F11. In the project window, find your workbook and the module containing your macro. You can then run the macro by typing its name followed by parentheses, for example, My Macro, and pressing Enter in the immediate window, View Immediate Window. Remember that macros are essentially programs and need to be written with care and consideration. Keep in mind security implications and always be cautious with macros downloaded from untrusted sources. Be aware of macros potentially impacting your data, so it's a good idea to save a backup copy of your workbook before running any macros, especially those you've not fully tested.